Welcome back, everybody. It's that time again. Third Phase of Moon Radio, taking your calls from around the world. It's my pleasure to bring them to you. And we're going to be opening up the lines, taking your calls. Let's hear the testimony from the public. This is what everybody wants. But I want to go over a few things that is kind of breaking over the past 24 hours. We've got UFO videos, and we have a major event that just happened in Puerto Rico. We're looking at this video right now, and it is shocking what just happened within the past 24 hours. The Arecibo telescope has just collapsed on its own. Apparently, they were working on some demolition, bringing it down. It had some issues, and then all of a sudden, this happened from two different angles. We're looking at it, and it is quite incredible. We have people calling in from around the world. They're building up, but let me tell you, it's my pleasure to bring in we got Richard Giordano joining us from GUFON, and he's been following up with this Arecibo telescope, with its collapse, its partial collapse, and now this. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So what do you think, what's going on? You've been following this closely, and I'm glad you're here with us. Now this breaking news video, I just showed it to you moments ago. What was the build-up to this? Why now?
Well, that's the question. It seems that about a month or so ago, the cable snapped, and then they were talking about repairing it, and there were rumors swirling around that it was a sabotage. And why? I don't know. Some people speculate that it could be because they don't want us to see what's coming out there with this telescope, what's coming from maybe outer space, or maybe something coming from the sun or the moon or wherever this thing would be focused on. And they were going to repair it. They were getting, estimates on how much it would cost and all this, and who's going to fix it. And then it had a major collapse just a few weeks after that discussion about repairing it. I kind of have a feeling that, if you see it snap in the video, it's very odd the way the whole thing goes down. I've never seen a collapse before, but they actually had a drone up right next to where the cable snaps. Oh, what are the odds? They said they had the drone flying over it, just in case something happened like this. Well, I don't know, but when I watched the video and seeing the cable snap from the ground point of view, I don't see the drone in the sky where they said it would be, unless I'm not looking in the right place or something's in the way. So I don't know if they had the drone at a different collapse or some other, part that just broke off. Some things just don't make sense.
Yeah,
now we're stuck with a pile of rubble.
Exactly. It's crazy because after watching this video over and over again, and it's just incredible to behold. It's like we're watching a James Bond movie or something like this. But what's crazy, it's real life. And you're right. When you bring up the fact that the drone was there to capture this at the perfect timing, the story was that they were going to dismantle this thing, but it just did it all on its own, a chaotic fashion, and they managed to capture it perfectly. So do you think, is there any word that if they're going to build a new one, or are they just going to scrub this whole project now?
It's scrubbed. They're not going to rebuild one as of yet. It would be a lot of money, and they think because we have other, ways of other telescopes and, things like this, that I don't think they need it anymore. I think that was it the whole time. I think it might have been sabotage. The insurance would cover it if it wasn't, I don't know what their, what their insurance would cover. But, in real life, if something is found to be tampered with, there's penalties for that. So I don't know. To me, it reeks of sabotage, and I don't like it. I don't know. I'm trying to think why would they do it? Why at this time? And it usually comes down to one thing, maybe two, but it's usually about money. Maybe they couldn't afford the upkeep on it anymore. It is old. I mean, you can see rust on this thing, so it's not that far-fetched. It could have just snapped, and fallen to the ground. But to have a drone there right at that time, whew, never seen that before.
You know what's interesting too? Some people might just speculate as well, is that this was basically perfect timing, because maybe there's something out there in space right now that they don't want us to see. So they just, like you say, sabotaged it, took it out. There's a lot of speculation out there, but we got to stick to the facts. Right now, we know that this thing collapsed. We don't know the exact reason, obviously structural integrity breakdown, but yeah, there is a mystery behind it. Why now? It's a good thing nobody was hurt as far as we're aware of, but interesting developing news coming out of Puerto Rico. Now, let's get to this. It's like, I want to stick around real quick, Richard. I know you're busy, but I want you to go over with me this video that was submitted to us via our friend, Hidden Underbelly 2.1. He allowed us permission to share this video with you all. We're going to take a look at it right now, and it's insane what we're looking at. It's probably about, between 10 to 15,000 feet elevation aboard a commercial airliner. Broad daylight video sighting of unknown object below the plane. You could see it traverse underneath the clouds. I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to wrap my head around what exactly we're looking at. But this thing is definitely hovering in the air. It's keeping up with the commercial airliner, and I'd say it's quite large. Rich, what do you make of this mystery?
Oh, man. This is amazing. And I don't know what I've never seen a UFO look like this. This looks like a glove, a giant glove floating around, next to an airliner. I'm trying to imagine why they would make this or build this craft this way, and nothing logical comes to mind. It is huge. I think it's probably 60 feet in diameter. I don't know if I'm accurate on that, depending on how far away it is. It doesn't look that far away from the airplane there, but man alive, I've never seen anything like it. It's odd.
What's crazy about it is we could confirm that there is no CGI whatsoever. And this video was taken over Tijuana from a flight, and it was, I think, captured earlier last month, but we're able to share it with you now. Again, thanks to Hidden Underbelly 2.1. He's got a great channel. He's doing great investigation. He reached out to the person, got permission to share it with himself and Third Phase of Moon. This is what it's all about, a big collaboration. I appreciate Hidden Underbelly 2.1 for bringing this, Hidden Underbelly 2.0 for bringing this incredible video to the world right now, and we're looking at it again closely. I got a close up. I'm kind of slowing the video down, and again, like you say, it's not practical. There's nothing practical about this. This is so unconventional of a aircraft in flight. What it is, who made it, it's bizarre to me.
Could it be a sky creature? Maybe our atmosphere is huge. It goes up 250 miles. It goes around 25,000 miles of Earth's circumference. Do we have creatures living in the atmosphere that, they can sense when we're around, and just maybe they can cloak themselves or move to a different location? It almost looks organic in some parts. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a fact that we have biological creatures that live in the stratosphere, and they hit the jet streams and they travel from country to country. But these are microscopic biological creatures. But this is definitely something that's a mystery. I'm so glad we're sharing this with you. Give us a big thumbs up if you think this is one of the most incredible videos that we've seen over the past month right here at Third Phase of Moon. Richard, I'm going to get to some phone callers calling in if they want to get in, but I appreciate you chiming in on some of this breaking news coming right here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me to discuss this. It's just amazing. Really cool. Thanks.
Right. I want to give a big shout out. That was Richard Giordano from Goof On. He's got his YouTube channel, and he goes over some of the greatest news of the day and other fun things as well. So go check out Goof On, and he's also helping us out on our sister channel, Third Phase. He's got some pretty cool content coming up. Now, I wanted to bring up just one quick statement before we get to the callers. Is our discovery that we premiered yesterday on Thirdphaseofmoon in regards to an incredible structure, a pyramidal shaped structure that's approximately, 40 to 50 feet tall, 40 to 50 feet wide, with this kind of Mayan step pyramid. It's not like the pyramids of Egypt, but more of like the Mayan step pyramids that we're seeing. But the whole crazy thing about it is it's in our backyard in Hawaii. And let me tell you, we showed it to the world. Nobody has seen this for, at least over 100 years, but we don't know exactly how old the structure is itself. And that's what's amazing, bringing this breaking news on location and a mystery of this building-like structure. But I did some research, and I found out that we see some roots wrapping around this structure, kind of holding it together. But what's amazing about it, it's a banyan tree. And banyan trees could live over 1,000 years old and on. So if this structure is being wrapped around the banyan tree throughout the whole structure, is it possible that this has been there over 1,000 years? Who built this? What is it? And what's it doing in the Pacific here on the big island of Hawaii in the middle of the gulch? We're going to try and find out. We're going to get back to the location. But again, it's interesting stuff. So if you didn't get our last video, we posted up on Third Phase of Moon. I want you guys to go take a look at it, and it'll be something, like I said, you haven't seen before. It reminded me of being straight out of an Indiana Jones movie, Tomb Raider kind of stuff. And it doesn't get much better than that. Doesn't it look like a movie prop, like a movie set? But it isn't. It's real life. And again, nobody's really seen this until right now, Third Phase of Moon. So appreciate everybody, you giving us a big thumbs up for that incredible adventure. We got more of those coming up. Now it's that time. Let's get to the radio. Let's take the calls. I know everybody's lining up. We got a lot of them. So if you got something you want to share, just keep it down to about 5 minutes so we could get as many callers as possible. Let's do it. Let's go to area code 928. 928. Hey, thanks for holding on. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, thanks for waiting. What's going on? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Lakeside, Arizona.
Great. What's going on over there in Arizona? Besides getting cold?
This happened in Peoria, Arizona, when we lived down in the valley. It happened on June 16th of 2016. It was about 9:30 at night. My husband and I were in our swimming pool talking, and all of a sudden, spheres came coming from the east to the west. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. I've been a UFO believer for a great many years. My husband's a great skeptic, and he looked at it and he goes, "What is that?" I go, "They're spheres." And it just hundreds. And then it was like thousands. And they were not wobbly. There was no noise. They're about treetop level. And I'd say they were smaller than a basketball, but, much bigger than a grapefruit. Just flying across the sky. And then they stopped. And then some more came, and then they stopped. The whole thing probably took maybe a minute, just maybe a minute. And I remember just like it was yesterday. And I've Googled it, and no one has, had the same experience. And it was just really unusual. So I just wanted to call in. Story.
Well, it's really cool because you're there with your husband. So you say there was multiple orbs. Do you think they were biological? Were they living, or was it, machine-like in their mannerism?
They were white globes of light, and there was I'd say there was at least 1,000 of them, and they were just flying across the sky. I put it out on Facebook, and people were saying, "Oh, they were drones. They were probably Amazon delivery." There's all these stupid, things. But no, I've seen them before on other videos. I know that they were spheres. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that. Hey, I want to let you know too. Your friend Doc Skinner, he's a friend of mine. We live on the same mountain.
That's great, Doc Skinner.
Yeah. So, anyway, well, thanks for letting me have some airtime. You can move on to the next person. I appreciate it.
Hey, one more thing. Could you did you upload that video of yours to YouTube so we could all take a look at it?
I would have loved to. I was standing in my pool, and I didn't have my phone with me, but And
Oh, okay.
I really wish I had it, but if I ever see anything else, I'll most certainly upload it and send it to you.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks so much. And yeah, Doc Skinner, we're giving him our thoughts right now. I know he's doing a little recovery at the moment, and I hear he's getting really better. So he's on getting ready to get on the next assignment. Appreciate you calling in. Be safe out there.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Incredible first caller. We've got a lot of evidence that we just gone over. Let's just bring them in. Let's get some more callers. People want to share their stories, and that's great. People respect that 5-minute kind of time limit. Let's get to it. 401, you're live. Third Phase of Moon. How you doing today?
Hi. Am I on the air?
You're on. Where are you calling in from?
Oh, wow. Excellent. Wow. I'm in Newport, Rhode Island.
What's going on over there? What do you see in the skies? Go ahead.
Well, this is in Florida. Probably 1994. And I was with a friend of mine. So that's how I always convince myself that it actually happened, because, I had somebody else there with me. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get in contact with him in years, but we were at my mom's house. I was about 20 years old, and it was night, looking in the sky, just just shooting crap. And I saw this bright light just come on out of nowhere, just a super bright, light. And I pointed to it, and right when I pointed to it, and right when he looked at it, another one just kind of popped on, out of nowhere. And there was incredibly bright, and no sound at all. And they sort of formed like a line, in line with each other, and went over our heads, directly above us. No sound at all. And I was just kind of in awe, raising my hands up like a nerd. In my mind I was saying, just take me away. But and literally went around 4 times, really bright, no sound at all, not a helicopter, not a plane. 4 times. And it's at some time in their passing, it looked like there was I could have sworn I saw a beam of light maybe going between them, and I think he saw it too. So after the 4th passing, they sort of headed north. This was in the southeast part of the sky where it started, and so they headed north. And I was just in awe and just kind of wow, what did I just see, And about a minute later, my friend Nick said, "Guess he's back." And I said, don't F with me, And sure enough, they came back. 2 came back, one, and then right to the other, kind of single file, and then 2 more. So this time there was 4.
So you felt intimidated by these things?
I did not feel intimidated at all. No. No, I didn't. I just felt like trying to communicate with it for some reason. But that's just me, I guess. And maybe I was. Who knows? So this last time they came, this when they were in a group of 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. They kind of formed another single file line almost. Not single file, but kind of following each other, and did another big circle, right around above our heads. I mean, it definitely felt like it was observing us, I mean, that's what it felt like, because it was circling right above us. So
what happened next? How did they depart?
So, yeah, the depart was after they did 1 full circle, really steady, not too fast, And it's almost the same spot where it came from, the southeastern sky. Just kind of disappeared right up into the sky, just disappeared, like into space, you know, with bright lights to nothing, you know. So I mean, what else would that be?
There's a lot of people that have these experiences, and what's up with these orbs? I think they're basically sent out to keep an eye on us, kind of let us know they're here, but they do it in a subtle way because they're in and out like that. And that's what's pretty amazing, these stories where they come, and this guy, what we just heard, it came back and circled him a few times. So it was definitely interested in the subject matter down below, this man. So I appreciate the call in. We got a lot of callers. Let's get to the next one right now. Let's get to area code 818. 818, you're live on Third Phase of Moon. How you doing today?
Hello?
Yep. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Blake. How you doing? Well,
doing good.
I'm really just been blown away by everything that you guys have been doing. So I just wanted to thank you for all your work. But the reason I'm calling today is basically this last summer for me has been just an incredible thing that's just been happening. I've had like 4 major sightings of craft and orbs, and everything that people are calling in about are things that I've actually seen and experienced. Now, this is all stemming back from a major sighting. It's a triangular craft that I saw back in 2017. I know the date and time, November 7th, 2017, in front of my balcony here in Herman, California, Highland Park, Los Angeles. Basically, I'm just having a night of it on my balcony, just hanging around, just looking out my balcony, which faces west, actually a little bit northwest, directly, straight line out, perpendicularly speaking. And I'm just looking at the horizon, and I see 3 lights that are stacked on one on top of the other, but they seem really far away, and they look very much like planes would normally flying in the night sky. It hadn't been quite night yet. It was still like that rosy or like orangey color on the horizon, and then the black night above it. So we haven't turned quite into night, but it was almost night. And I'm just watching these lights go by, and I'm noticing that, you know, they're stacked one on top of the other, which is a little weird, you know. But I'm just watching it. It's nothing special. I'm definitely not thinking it's anything weird at this point. Just the fact that there's 3 of them, and maybe they're helicopters or whatnot. And then I'm noticing, because I have a huge tree in front of across the street from where I'm looking. As it crosses past the tree, I notice they stop. So that's what I say to myself, oh, okay, they're definitely not planes. It must be helicopters. And then when I notice another thing happen is they start spinning in place, like gyrating, like a computer animation, like 3 dots moving in place. And that's when my heart started skipping. That's when I went, wait, I got a little, what is that? That's not normal. Because now we're looking at a gyration, some sort of like spin in place. It's in place, but it's in the formation of a triangle. I hadn't noticed that it was in the formation of a triangle till now, till it started spinning. And then it stabilized, it stopped spinning, and it shot off directly in my direction and flew past my balcony, and it was gone. And the time that it took to get from where it was to fly over my head was like less than a second. It was literally, wow. But it flew in formation, which was interesting. It flew in the formation that it was in way back where I was seeing it from. And at the time when I saw it, I wasn't really, you know, familiar with my neighborhood or where I'm looking at exactly. But a year later, we had some Malibu fires. And I remember the plumes of smoke stemming from that particular direction. And that's where the direction it came from. And that's probably where it was in terms of distance. But by the time it flew over my head, and I've told the story, first of all, I haven't told anybody the story like for over a year after I saw it. And then after the year went by, then I started telling people, a couple of people. And then I always used to tell the story like, okay, when one orb was over my head, and then basically it didn't look like a craft, like a metallic craft. It just looked like 3 light orbs. And I couldn't see anything in between the lights because it moved so fast. But I remember specifically telling the story like this. I would say there was one orb over Mount Washington, there was one orb over my head, which I live on Mount Herman, and there was another orb over Mount Eagle Rock. That's how I would describe the distances, because I thought it was just stupefyingly huge. And I measured the distance from here to Mount Washington, or in that vicinity, and it's 5 miles. Now, when I saw this back in 2017, I hadn't seen this thing later, but I did see this object in many videos that you guys posted and other UFO channels. But I remember because it struck me 2 years after I saw it, Infamous Fan Club had posted this video where they had seen something coming out of Long Beach, out of a portal, and 50 of these triangles were coming out of them. I think I saw one of those things, because it looked like one of those triangles.
The Infamous Fan Club. He's a friend of ours, Jim Martin.
Jim Martin, yes.
He actually
Jim Martin.
Able to
and
make
the reason I know
contact
about
with them,
him
and he
is because of the post.
And he's captured some amazing videos on his YouTube channel, Infamous Fan Club. Jim Martin catching some amazing stuff. So what do you think these are? Do you think, again, I keep asking this question, are these living
this is the thing.
life forms? Are they military, or is it extraterrestrial?
Well, yeah, this is the thing. Okay, I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you this. After this happened, I had a certain amount of information, and I'm going to call it synchronicity, if you want to call it that, but in my mind, I had witnessed something that I was kind of like blown away by. So I didn't really talk about it, and I don't want, because I'm an actor. I live in Los Angeles. I've been doing this for 20 years, and it's not something that I would feel comfortable coming out and telling people about. But now I'm like to the point where I just need to tell people this, because it's what happened the following. Well, this is the thing. The summer of 2020. This summer, I ended up seeing more things. I saw, like that guy was talking about, an orb coming in and then coming out. Nothing about circling over my head, but it just came in, stopped. It felt like I was being observed because it stopped, and then it took off at the same rate of speed. It was not a drone. It didn't make any sound. None of these things had made any sound ever. On another day, I saw another metallic orb. I was driving on the 134 freeway going eastbound in Pasadena, and I see this metal mercury ball the size of a baseball, and it's on lane 1, the fast lane of the freeway going eastbound, and I see this thing on the freeway, and I'm driving right into it, and it's about 14 feet off the ground. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's got to be some mistake. It's probably my watch reflecting on my windshield. That's what I thought initially. And then I noticed that, no, that's not moving. I moved my head around, and no, that's definitely stuck in there in the sky, or in the air, I should say. And as I'm driving underneath this metallic mercury-looking thing, I drive underneath it, I'm looking under it, and I drive right under it. And I see this metal ball reflecting everything like it's a mirror. The sun is hitting it, and it's like a little metallic baseball. And I'm like, what is that? And I drive under it. And that was the last time I saw that thing. And then, it's just been nonstop. I don't know. It's been nonstop, Blake. I'm not saying that I'm Blake. I'm not saying that I'm Blake. I'm not saying that I'm Blake. I'm not saying.
For some reason, there was a glitch, and our radio show stream failed to go beyond this point. We don't know what happened. There are a few things said, but we have to say that we apologize. The radio stream just got cut off. But I wanted to thank everybody for joining us in this Third Phase of Moon YouTube premiere, sharing the UFO exclusives coming in as fast as possible. I want to give a big shout out to Richard Giordano for joining me, along with Hidden Underbelly 2.0 for allowing us to share that incredible video over Tijuana. What the heck is going on, guys? Appreciate you joining us. We got more UFO footage coming up and some special reports. Hit that subscription button and notification bell to be notified when we post up the next incredible episode right here at Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. We'll see you real soon.